Gender violence is any aggression or violence that occurs against the woman, no matter of their social, educational, cultural, or economic status. It's an attack against this equality, freedom, and dignity.
Nowadays, gender violence is a controversial topic because it symbolizes a violation of human rights. Also, at the state, national, and international level, talk about gender is necessary to know the conditions in which men and women find themselves and in which they develop, such as work, at home, education, in others. For the reason, it's important to understand that the majority of women and girls are the main victims of all different types of gender violence and discrimination. Therefore, it's essential to talk about this topic because nowadays there are a lot of situations of women and girls and they feel a lot of fears and they prefer not talk about this situation. For the reason, we will present below the types of violence that exist.
There are several types of gender violence, which are physical aggressions, verbal violence, emotional, sexual, domestic, economics. This is a violence in which the perpetrator takes advantage of her position or monetary power in the family group to control the victim decision and life plans, and the patrimonial violence, such as prohibiting the victim from using her money, limiting her purchase, and limiting the use of her money. In Colombia, cases of gender violence have been on the rise. In 2021, 3,646 cases of gender violence were attended. In addition, poverty, inequalities at work, and even at home generate a greater vulnerability of women and girls to gender violence. Some of the most controversial cases in Colombia have been Juliana Zamboni, who suffered severe sexual violence, Natalia Pons, who was attacked with acid, and in addition, during the quarantine, the type of violence that was most present was sexual violence.
Now we're going to talk about some cases of gender violence in the world. According to World Health Organization, 30% of women worldwide have experienced some form of violence, equivalent to some 736 million women. The COVID-19 pandemic has contributed to the intensification of gender-based violence against the women and girls in the Southern African region. Also, the confinement measures have prevented women from escaping from their abusive partners or from leaving their homes in search of protection.
For the reason when we suffer a type of gender violence or someone that we know suffers a type of violence, we can resort to different mechanisms such as prosecutor's office, police station, forensic medicine, family police station, Colombian Institute of Family Welfare, and ombudsman's office and municipal ombudsman's office. Okay, these are some of the methods that we can use in cases of gender violence. Therefore, it's important that if we know someone suffers a type of violence and does not know how to report it, these are some tools that will help him or her and will help them and will guide them and with these tools we have more knowledge about different types of gender violence.
Hello, what's your name?
Valentina.
Valentina, I would like to ask you some questions about the gender violence. Do you like?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay, the first one is, have you ever felt uncomfortable because of something a man has done?
Yes, I have been uncomfortable in some situations because when I am walking on the streets or in public transport, sometimes men have shown at me many things, and it is an uncomfortable situation.
Okay, and the second one is, have you ever felt that you are worthless because you are a woman?
Yes, I felt that in some situations I have to show to the society my value.
In my opinion, nowadays this topic has been given the relevance that I really deserve. It is very important now not to leave it aside or ignore it in order to be victims of this. It is necessary to talk about it and make the subject of concern in many more people. Paying attention to the scenes that appear day by day in each of the couple or family.
To conclude, I believe that this topic is important to bring up because it's very common in our society. For this reason, we have normalized it. For me, the treatment of people, whether male or female, should be equal since we are all human beings and therefore we have the same rights.
In my opinion, this topic of gender violence is very important to me because besides the fact I'm a woman and I'm aware of the violence that women suffer daily. Therefore, I consider talking about this topic is necessary because we can inform other women who are not aware about this topic or are suffering some types of violence and they don't want to say. I think that it's important that among women we must help each other and we must not allow any type of violence to continue to affect our society.